Hi guys, welcome to Flip the Deck Tarot. Today's pick a card reading is going to be all about your month ahead for May 2022. So we are going to take a look at what's going to be going on for you during the month of May, what kind of energies are going to be around you, and what kind of energy you're going to be holding during the month of May. I have 3 readings for you to choose from today. For reading number 1, we have this emerald gemstone. There we go, focused. For reading number 2, we have this really pretty, it's kind of like a grape jelly gemstone. Let me get a hold of it and then give you a close-up of that. Reading number 3, we have this teardrop amber colored gemstone. Kind of reminds me of like a really rich citrine or honey calcite. So take as much time as you need. You can pick based on an intuitive feeling that you have for one of these numbers, 1, 2, or 3, or you can pick based on the color of the gemstone or maybe the shape of the gemstone. Pause the video on the close-ups if you want to take a little bit of time to meditate on that. And I will have your timestamps down below in the description box. I'm going to go ahead and jump in with number 1, and I'll see you in your reading. Hi, number 1, if you picked the emerald gemstone, this is going to be your reading. We're going to look at your month ahead for May 2022, and I want to start the reading by looking at your energy during the month. So let's kind of see where you're going to be at during the month of May, what energies are going to be kind of around you, and what energy you're going to be holding during this month. Okay, so you got smoky Amazonite. Amazonite can actually have kind of a greenish blue color, so it's interesting that you were drawn to that green stone, but I think what's more interesting is that this card is, what it says at the bottom is abundance, so that's what this stone and this energy is representing. And green is kind of a color of abundance for me, like it makes me think of money, so you're feeling pretty blessed during the month of May, it looks like. I think you are holding this really abundant energy. This is also a number 17 at the top of this card, and this reduces to an 8. So that's kind of an abundant energy for me too, because 8s are all about infinite possibilities, infinite creation, and manifestation. So this is really a prominent energy for you during the month of May. This could really be a feeling that you have heading into this month. It's like this feeling of richness, of ampleness, of maybe even like a lavish quality. So there might be something really extravagant that you're looking forward to participating in during the month of May, or you're just feeling a little bit extra, like in a good way, like you want to treat yourself to a few things, a few luxuries during this month. It could be something, this feeling could be something that kind of develops for you and progresses over the course of the month. But I think for a lot of you, it's something that's kind of building, and it's something you have been feeling and sensing as you head into this month. It might be that May is a month where you can really enjoy some of this abundance, or when this abundance starts to flow to you. For some of you, this really does have to do with an improvement in your finances, some kind of development, or some kind of something progressing in your life. And like I was saying, it could be your finances, it could be any kind of growth or progress that you're making in your life. But with the abundance card and with this green stone that you were drawn to, there really might be some kind of breakthrough when it comes to your finances, maybe even a windfall. If you've been expecting a sum of money to be paid for you, I'm hearing settlement for some of you. So that's just for some of you. Some of you, if you're expecting some sort of payout, or if someone owes you money, you're waiting for someone to pay you back a sum of money. Yeah. Okay, there's a couple of messages coming through. I'm trying to decipher them. So this could be money that's owed to you because of some sort of settlement, or because you lent money out and you've been waiting for someone to pay you back. But then I'm also hearing that for some of you, this is payment for work that you've done or services that you've offered where you haven't received your payment for it yet. It could be that like the way that the payouts work or something, you have to wait a few months to get your payout, or there was some kind of delay. But this feels like the energy kind of opening up in that area, and this abundance, this money kind of flowing to you more easily during the month of May. I'm hearing that for a lot of you, this is having to do with some kind of creative pursuit or professional service that you offer. So if you're waiting for payment on that, or maybe completing a big job or something, you're going to be receiving payment for that in May. It also could be a matter of this is so financially focused right now, but I just want to get all the messages out in case some of you are waiting for this. It could be a matter of like money that you were waiting to hit your bank account. Like this is money that you already know that you've earned. And maybe it's just like it hasn't actually shown up in your bank account yet, but it feels like you're getting some kind of message about this, maybe getting a firm date on it or seeing the deposit pending in your bank account, something like that during May. So if you have been waiting on that, this is a beautiful time for this to come through for you. In general, though, it looks like you're feeling really grateful. It looks like you are acknowledging that you are blessed and acknowledging all of your blessings during May, and that you're kind of noticing all the areas where your cup is overflowing. So a lot of us will fall into the trap of focusing on the things that need to be changed, the things we want to improve, and that's beautiful energy. But sometimes it's really good for us to look at the areas that are working so well. And I feel like something's happening for you in May where your attention is just going to be more focused on the things that are working so well, more focused on the areas where you're like, that is working like a well-oiled machine, or like this thing is paying out so well. Even if that's not financially, it's just your returns on things. It's like you're noticing your returns. This could be emotional investments you've made in something in your life, but you're noticing the benefit. You're noticing your hard work paying off, and you're focused so much on what's working and what's working out and what's giving to you so abundantly, that you're not so focused on the areas of life that you would want to change or improve. You're really you're in kind of a gracious state of mind, it looks like. I feel like this is like attention to detail too. There's something about you're noticing even the tiniest things that are working well. So I feel a lot of gratitude coming from you for May. And I think that's a really beautiful energy, because that state of gratitude holds a very, very high vibration. And it's the exact energy that's needed to attract more and even better blessings into your life. So with that energy, I'll just say your immediate future looks pretty bright, like even beyond May, because your attitude is, I think it's really coming to the place where it needs to be. It's coming to this place where you're able to welcome more abundance into your life by noticing your blessings and noticing the abundance that's already present in your life. So that's really beautiful. We're going to let this be kind of the crown of your reading for the month, because this is your energy. But I also want to look at some of the major themes that are going to be going on for you during the month of May, so that we'll know kind of what's swirling around you. This is the energy you're holding, what's going on around you. So the first thing we have here is the Aeon. Okay, this is actually the Judgment card in traditional tarot. And your second card is the Four of Wands. And this card says completion. I think that's really appropriate energy with what we were talking about with abundance. Okay, let's look at this. So this energy, coupled with the abundance card as the energy that you're carrying throughout the month, really makes me think that there's a project or an idea that you've been working on that's going to reach some new level or some new height during the month of May with this this Four of Wands card, this completion, this idea of completion. So as I was telling you, the Aeon card is the Judgment card in traditional tarot, and Judgment for me is always a call to really examine like where my time is going, where my energy is going, where my resources are going, and where they've been going. Like where have I habitually been spending my time, spending my energy, pouring myself into? Like what areas have I been habitually doing that? So it looks like this is maybe some of the examination that you're going to be doing in the month of May. it feels like it's a little nudge to pay really close attention to whether or not you're happy with how you've chosen to invest yourself, and really asking the question, like, am I happy with this? Can I live with this? Can I stand behind this? I think for a lot of you, you've been investing in some sort of project. And this could be a creative project. This could be a professional project. This could even have to do with relationships. But what I'm seeing is that when you are called to examine this, and when you're called to question, is this how I want to spend my time? Am I happy with this? Is this paying off? You're hit with this energy of abundance, like we were talking about. So when you question if the work that you've been putting into something, if the heart and soul, the blood, sweat, and tears you've been pouring into something, is it worth it? Your answer for May is an overwhelming yes, it's worth it. I think you're going to be seeing that because you're noticing how things are paying off for you. You're noticing that all of that work that you put in really is paying off. So I think that, it's funny for a lot of you, I really think that at the very least, this is mental energy that you have invested into something, mental energy that went into considering or analyzing something. So even if you don't think that you have been really investing a whole lot of time into a particular project or something, think about where you've been putting a lot of your thoughts, because this might not be something that has fully kicked off, but it does feel like something that's going to reach a new level based on the amount of yourself that you've already poured into it, whether that's actual physical work, or this is just a whole lot of thought and preparation for this thing. So yeah, you're realizing it's all worth it in the month of May. It feels like you're reaching some kind of milestone or a graduate, like not necessarily a graduation, but it's like graduating to the next level of something is what it feels like. Some level of completion with this Four of Wands. So I do kind of want to, let me think where I want to dive in first. Let's talk a little bit about this Aeon card, and then we'll talk about what the Four of Wands really means and where you might be in this cycle that you're in, because it is a little bit hard to decipher this, and it could be because it's a general reading. So your level of completion when it comes to this thing, it's going to vary for everybody. But it does feel like no matter where you're at with this, the month of May is a time for you to kind of level up in a way. It's a time for you to take that next step. It's a time for you to notice. Like, I think for some of you, you're going to even be noticing that you have been doing it. Whatever this thing is, it's like, I've actually been doing this. I've actually invested myself in this. I'm actually doing a really good job at this, even though I hadn't fully committed to it, because the Five of Wands gives me that energy. It's like a beginning and then it's an end. I'm sorry, the Four of Wands. I don't know why I said the five. It's a beginning and it's an end. Let me get back to this. I'm off on a tangent. So I want to point out the particulars about this Aeon card. So it is this Judgment card. So this card really holds a lot of history. It carries a really strong feeling of history with it. In this particular deck, Ellis Island is actually pictured in this card. And it kind of carries with it this strong feeling of like hopes and dreams and ancestral ties. It just comes through really strong with this imagery. I think stronger than would like the traditional imagery on the Judgment card. So I have to think about that and think about what this might mean for you during this month. So I think for some of you, your focus and attention has been on something that may have some family ties for you. Or you may be realizing a dream that makes you like kind of a pioneer in your family, like a first generation college grad, for example, something like that, something that is kind of, it's kind of you realizing or tying everything up, maybe for generations, like for past generations. So it really could be something like that. This could be close to, related close to your hopes and dreams and ambitions when it comes to creating your own family. So I just wanted to point that out in case that resonates for somebody. I say all that to say that there's definitely a sense of contentment here. There's something that feels like it is really complete. Um, and if you haven't ultimately completed the goal that's on your mind, you really are reaching some kind of new phase, leveling up. You seem to be feeling really good about it. And you're noticing every single win during this month, even if it's really small. Even if these are just first steps towards something, you're really noticing and giving yourself credit for how far you've come and for what you have accomplished. So yeah, let's talk about the Four of Wands energy, because Four of Wands energy is so interesting to me, because the Four of Wands really does carry with it this feeling of completion. But obviously it's a number 4. So this is not the like the end of the journey by any means, but it's a stepping stone along the way. It's a stepping stone along this larger journey. It's a time for celebration, and it's a time to pause and to notice, which is kind of the energy that we're feeling for all this whole reading with this abundant energy. It's a time to take notice of the excellent work you've done so far, but as much as it can feel like the end of a phase, it's also the beginning. So you are evolving to a new level in a lot of ways. You're reaching a new level, and it's going to feel like a beginning of sorts, but you're seeing yourself differently, and that might be the biggest change or the biggest accomplishment that you're noticing in the month of May. Or when you take this time to pause, what you're really noticing, you're seeing yourself a little bit differently. And I think that you're gaining a lot more confidence as you see and really truly notice what you're capable of accomplishing. So something during the month of May is going to make you pause and realize, I can do this. Like, maybe even for some of you, I've been doing this, and that's the ultimate proof and the ultimate confidence builder, because you can look back at like what's been going on recently and realize, hey, I'm already doing it. I am already along. I'm already like well on my way on this journey, because you're noticing. Sorry, the table. You're noticing that you are at this this Four of Wands place, this place of a little bit of reflection, a place of celebration. So yeah, this is feeling like some kind of jumping off point for you or something. Again, really interesting energy with the Four of Wands, because it's the beginning and it's the end at the same time. It's the completion and it's the start of something else, kind of in a way that no other card like gives me that much of a feeling of it being the beginning of the journey and the end of a phase at the same time. So maybe we can get more clarity with that with your tarot cards. Let's look at your tarot cards and kind of see what your story for the month of May is. So we have the Ace of Wands. I love that. I love that energy. I love the Ace of Wands. I love it, especially in connection with what we've been talking about. Let's get the rest of your cards. We have the Wheel, the Two of Pentacles. Okay, I see. Ooh, the Magician, and the Six of Swords in reverse. Okay. Okay, this is confirmation. May really does mark the beginning of a transition for you. When I consider the cards that came out for you, I have to say this is a powerful transition. And again, I'm being called to say, I think this is something that maybe started for you before May, because it looks like you've reached some level of accomplishment, and that you're feeling yourself growing and changing as you're stepping into this month. Really powerful energy coming out. The Magician, the Wheel, the Ace of Wands. Yeah. Yeah. It feels like you're really in your confidence here in the month of May. So I love the way your cards laid out, because I can see the incredible momentum that you're going to have during this month. And I can also see the potential pitfalls. And it laid out kind of in the perfect story here to let me see that. So this is something we can talk about. You don't necessarily have to like fall into these traps. I see 2 little traps here. They don't have to be your story, but I'm going to talk about it just in case it comes up. I feel like you'll be able to handle it a little bit better. Overall, I think this is a great month for you. You have the Ace of Wands right in the center, and that's all about intense creativity and inspiration. This card is about new ideas. It's all about potential, incredible amounts of potential. The energy I'm getting from your reading is that during May, and like I said, for many of you, slightly before May, you're being really lit up. You're being almost turned on or activated in some way. It's like someone pushed the power button and you came alive. So your true essence came out to play is kind of how I'm seeing it for the month of May. Your true essence is on display. So many of you have probably been on some sort of spiritual journey from looking at this. This is a journey of awakening, and it could have taken you a while to get to this point, but now it's feeling like you're ready. It's like green lights all the way. I do want to point out one thing. Remember how we were talking about the 4 of Wands being just as much, with this completion card, being just as much a beginning as it is an ending? I think that this is what I'm talking about. This Ace of Wands and this Magician. Okay, the aces are all about new beginnings here. It's the start of a cycle, and the Magician is the first card of the major arcana. So there is something here that I do feel like you're reaching some new level or graduating, but there's also a newness to it. There's the feeling of you setting out on a new path. There's a feeling of you starting something new and being kind of like in those infantile stages and phases of this thing. But it also doesn't feel... It also doesn't feel like you're brand new. I hope this makes sense. And this is kind of like the 4 of Wands, like I was talking about. You have reached some level of accomplishment, of achievement. You are graduating to a new level. And in that way, you're starting out on something new. But in a lot of ways, you have some experience under your belt. You have some tools at your disposal. You have some knowledge. You have some ideas maybe stored away that you're going to be able to draw upon to move you through this month and to move you through this transition. So it's really beautiful energy because there's a newness to it, but there's also an experience that's coming through. Then we have the Wheel, and this really signifies the completion of a cycle in some ways, and kind of a feeling of a turning tide. The number 10 is all about completion, and starting something new. And I feel like because this card came out in the upright, these are all great things. These are things that you've been waiting for and looking forward to. And there is kind of, with this card, there's always that little touch of magic. There's that touch of the unexpected. There's that that element of you prepared for this, but the universe kind of takes over at some point, and some things are just going to fall in line for you in a way where you don't have to be so in control of it. But there's so much potential here with the Ace and the Magician, both cards of great potential. So you've wrapped up a phase in your life, some phase in your life. And for a lot of you, I'm hearing that this was a phase of playing small, or of being stuck in a place where you weren't able to realize your full potential. But this Ace of Wands energy is all about heading out on that journey of realizing your full potential. I think you're starting out on this new journey feeling really excited and really inspired. And I think in a lot of ways, it's going to give you the opportunity to show off everything you've learned. So yeah, you're not coming to this a blank slate. This is something you've put some work, some thought into. Now, as you navigate this period of growth and expansion, you may feel and find it difficult to kind of trying to juggle everything. So this side of the reading is showing maybe some of the stumbling blocks you might encounter during May. So the first one, I think it's no big deal. Actually, I don't think either one of them is a very big deal, but the first one is really probably down to some sort of time management to you. So this could be because you're kind of stepping into a new role of some sort, and you're just trying to figure everything out. So it might be because you're trying to make room or make time for some of these new pursuits that you have on your mind, or some new energy that you want to encompass, you want to incorporate into your life. And you just have to work out how you can make time for these new ideas and all this new inspiration that's pouring into you, just fitting that into your current schedule. So the answer to that, I'm seeing for a lot of you that the answer to how you're going to work all this in might be that you just can't. And it might be that things have to be permanently altered. Things have to permanently change. And that could have a lot to do with this new phase that it looks like you're kind of stepping into. This could be a matter of, I got to let that thing go. It's not important to me anymore and it takes up too much of my time. So kind of like weighing out what's important here, what's crucial here, what is valuable to my growth, what do I feel lit up and passionate about, and what am I just doing out of habit or obligation, or what can I have somebody else do? Some of this could be about delegation, because I do think that whatever you're welcoming in, it's going to put some new stuff on your plate, and that plate is either going to be rearranged and everything's going to fit, or some stuff's going to slip off of the side of that plate, and it's fine. The stuff that slips off is the stuff that really didn't need to be there anymore. It's something that someone else could take control of, and you don't have to be in control of it. But it is something to notice, because I do think that you're going to be wanting to make room for this new burst of energy, and it feels like such really delicious energy that I want to say, make room for it. Definitely make room for it. If you're feeling extra inspired during May, go with it. Don't say, oh, I'll explore this in June. The energy might not be there in June. The energy is there in May, and there are certain milestones that your soul, your higher self wants to hit during the month of May. And it's really important, I think, for you to do it at that time. So if some other stuff needs to be slid to the side while you focus on that, go ahead and do that. Let the inspiration take over. Let the inspiration lead during the month of May. So the other thing I'm seeing here is this Six of Swords. And it actually kind of ties into the Two of Pentacles energy that we were talking about. So the Six of Swords in reverse can signify some kind of resistance to change. So you might find that there are little parts of you that want to cling to your old stories, cling to your old routines, your old roles, old roles that you played, maybe even for some of you, old friends. This is kind of just the energy of like when everything around you is really pushing you to make that change, to make that move. And you can feel the energy and the momentum all around you. It's like a really strong wind. And you kind of like the wind. You kind of like what the wind is talking about. You kind of like where the wind is pushing you. But at the same time, it's like, oh, I'm a little bit afraid to go over there. I'm used to being right here. And now the wind's trying to blow me over here. So there might be this feeling of wanting to hang on, cling on, and stay where you are, stay where you're comfortable. And stay doing all of the things that are comfortable for you, all of the things that are routine for you. But if you were to do that, you're going to miss this. You're going to miss this opportunity. So this really is kind of the same energy. It's the same potential pitfall during the month of May. Make room for this inspiration and also flow with it. Go with it is kind of the advice that's coming through. I think that if you can focus on all of the new and beautiful things that are flowing into your life, it's really going to help ease any discomfort that you might feel at the evolution that you're going through. And that's why I love that your energy is abundance, because it seems like you are going to naturally be focusing on that. And if you're focusing on but look at everything I'm gaining, if you're focused there, then you're not going to be so afraid to leave the old stuff behind because you'll know how much you're gaining. So yeah, that's kind of the only thing I see as a potential hang up for this. This looks like a really beautiful burst of energy. So let's just close out your reading with some messages and advice from your guides for the month. So we have second chakra, Archangel Ariel. This is a beautiful card, beautiful, beautiful energy. Let's look at your second card. We have the World. Okay, I love that. Okay, let's talk about this second chakra energy. This is super important, I think, because the second chakra is all about our creativity. It's our creative center, and it's also about our ability to share intimacy. So a lot of you may be in a scenario where you're putting your creative works on display and it can feel really intimate to you. It can feel like an intimate act. So that can be pointing to that. This can also be pointing to your relationships. But this card is a card of love and encouragement. And it really comes to, like, it shows up to help you to pursue creative endeavors. So whatever that looks like to you. It's just beautiful energy, beautiful confirmation after this Ace of Wands energy. And just after we're talking about all of this stuff that you're going to be wanting to create and make room for during the month of May. I think that the sky's the limit for you. And you have just an abundant amount of love and support from your guides and from your higher self during this time. So that really means that there are no limits on this. And it's just beautiful energy. It's beautiful energy for you to be in. It's beautiful, abundant energy, and you're attracting abundance. And it's almost like you are abundance during this month. We also had the World card. I think it's so funny that this card came out because you had the Eon here, which is Judgment, and then in a traditional deck, like after Judgment comes the World. So this really, it's confirmation that you're kind of like, you're taking all the right steps. Everything's happening in divine order, in divine timing. And I can also see that for most of you, this smaller transition that you're going through now in the month of May is really just a stepping stone to a larger transformation. So whether you're on the cusp of, like, I feel like some of you are really on the cusp of this transformation going in. So it might be that you're just starting it in May, or that May is going to really mark the time of the huge life-changing thing that you see. I just think that May is going to be about you taking inspired action no matter where you are on that journey. I think your inspired action during May is going to open so many doors for you. So that's what I would say is, even if you don't see the big picture right now, just follow that creativity, follow that intuitive nudge, because it's really important for you. And it might be that you realize all of what this has to offer during the month of May. And it might be that these are kind of like your first steps in a way on this new path, but you're going to remember this month. I think this is going to be a month you're going to look back on and think, if I hadn't made those choices, if I hadn't made room for this, if I hadn't followed my intuition here, I never would have ended up here, wherever it is that you are down the line. So this is going to be really crucial for you. I think that's all the messages I see for you for the month of May. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, letting me read your cards. I love your energy, and I'm really excited for you for this month because it looks beautiful and it looks very inspired. So yeah, if you liked the video, if this resonated for you, please don't forget to like it, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can join me again for another reading. I would love to hang out with you again. Thank you so much. Bye. Hi, number 2, if you picked the purple gemstone, this is going to be your reading for the month of May. We're going to take a look ahead. And the first thing we're going to do to start this reading is I want to take a look at your energy, the energy that you're going to be holding during the month of May. So I have a crystal card for you here, and we're going to look at that and kind of see what your vibe is going to be during the month of May. Okay, so you have flower agate. And this card actually says expression on it. And this is all relating to the throat chakra. So it looks like you're speaking your mind in the month of May. It feels like May really is the perfect time for you to express yourself, because it feels like there has been a lot on your mind leading up to this month. This really might have to do with some people in your life, because the number 3, I'm always thinking of like collaboration or like working together with somebody. So this might be expressing your thoughts, ideas, and opinions in a collaborative sense. It could also be that you are expressing something to friends or family members, people who are close to you, people who you spend a lot of time with. I think there are going to be some important conversations had for a lot of you. It really could be pointing to that. And these are going to be conversations, I think, with people who are very close to you. So this doesn't feel like the kind of expression where you're kind of venting to somebody meaninglessly or just to get something off your chest. It feels like if you are going to speak this out loud, it's going to be to the person who needs to hear it. It's going to be a straightforward and direct conversation, and it's going to be really from the heart. I also think that this could be the type of expression that is for the sole purpose of acting as some kind of therapeutic release for your soul. So you might find yourself journaling more, or maybe even for some of you writing poetry, I'm hearing. It feels like overall there's something that you need to get out during this month, and you're finding ways to do that, even if it's something that's very personal and very private to you. So this expression does not have to do. It does not. Let me think of a different way to say this. It is not required that this expression involves other people. It could for some of you, but I think what's most important is that some kind of deep feelings, emotions, something that's inside of you wants to make its way out during the month of May in the form of some sort of expression, and that you're going to be finding ways to do that during this month, whether that involves speaking your mind to someone or just releasing a lot of things through writing, through singing, through maybe even through talking to yourself is what I'm hearing. Whatever it is for you, whatever's therapeutic for you, I think is what's important here. It's like this is a month of purging for you. So I'm hearing out with the old and with the new. This is like a breath of fresh air in a way. I think if this is something you need to get off of your chest, the reason I'm seeing this as a breath of fresh air, because I'm kind of seeing this as like some kind of deep inhale and an exhale. And it feels almost like getting this off your chest is going to allow you to breathe again. For some of you, this is something really heavy, something that feels like it's weighing you down. It kind of feels like it's sitting on your chest, and releasing all of this just lets you be able to breathe again. It lets you be able to settle again. And I think you're finding a lot of peace through this expression. This can also, of course, refer to any type of creative expression. We kind of touched on that with poetry, but it really could be anything. That's why I was saying, like, if you're called to pursue it during May, and if it feels like a purge, if it feels like a release to you, then I think you're going to get whatever this benefit is that's trying to, it's trying to come out, it's trying to get my attention, it's trying to form the right words for me to let you know what this feels like, because it feels like some sort of relief. So however it is you can get that relief, that's the pursuit in May. This is the goal in May. It does kind of make me think about you putting yourself on display a little bit more, putting your true self on display a little bit more, maybe letting your thoughts and opinions be known a little bit more, because this is a way sometimes that we express ourselves. So if there's something you've been holding back, there's some part of you haven't been showing, or some way that you wish to present yourself in the world that you've been shy about or hesitant about, this feels like a time to really take charge of that. And that might be a therapeutic release for you, just being authentic. This could even be like a new sense of confidence when it comes to your physical appearance during the month of May, and that might help you to express more. It feels like you're stepping out of the box a little bit, and like you're not afraid to be seen or heard. So this might even have to do with specific situations in your life where you've previously had a lot of fear around showing up, showing off, being really true to yourself in front of others. You know, the scenario that's coming to mind for some of you is like, you might have certain situations in your life where you feel like you can really be yourself, and in other situations you hide who you are. So this could be like when you're around your close friends, you are your true self. You maybe even dress a different way. You might be louder or be, you know, whatever it is, like you really come to life. And then you could have maybe certain family members who, when you're around them, you just shrink back. You don't want to show them who you really are. You try to kind of fade away or just blend in. Like you don't even want to attract their attention. They might be super judgmental or something, but it's sort of like that kind of scenario for some of you, where it's like, even if you have areas of your life where you can express, you have certain areas where you just don't feel like you can. And this is like about you finding more comfort in being able to do that in all scenarios. Being able to be your true self, even in these uncomfortable situations, and being able to stand behind who you choose to present to the world. So it feels like, that feels like powerful energy. I guess expression in itself is powerful. There is something powerful about expressing ourselves. But once these kind of images started coming to me, I'm realizing how much in your power you are, and like how much courage it's going to take for you to do this expression. But it also feels like you're just stepping into this really effortlessly in May. So there might have been some prep work done here. There might have been a lot of contemplation done about this. Maybe you're just fed up and you're just ready to be you. But yeah, it feels like a courageous act, and it feels like something that, like, it's about time. So let's look at your 2 tarot cards that are gonna kind of tell me what energy is going on around you. This is the energy that you're holding. You're definitely in your power. So whatever's going on around you, I think you're gonna deal with it head on. But let's see what it is. So we have the Hanged Man, and we have this is defeat. So this is 5 of Swords, and it came out in reverse. This is a long time coming. Now that I'm seeing this is a long time coming. Whatever this expression is that you have, you've been wanting to do, or like I'm seeing now you've been wanting to express in this way, it's a long time coming. This might be something you wanted to say to somebody for a long time. This might be a way you wanted to show up, or a way you want to reveal yourself for a long time. So let's really look at this. For some of you, you may be at some sort of standstill with someone in your life. I'm also getting this feeling like a standoff. So a standstill, meaning like not much progress being made. A standoff too is coming to me. So this could be a situation where it's like nobody is communicating because they're waiting for the other person to speak up or to reach out, or maybe they're waiting for the other person to like be the first to apologize. If that resonates for you, during May, this situation that you're at a standstill with, or you're at a standoff with somebody about, it's definitely going to be on your mind. The energy is there. So far, I'm not seeing exactly like how I think this is going to play out for you. We're going to talk about it more with the 5 of Swords, but we're going to get like into your tarot. So I can see like if there's any indication of how that's going to play out, but I'm going to tell you, this is definitely something that's on your mind. And when I see that, I know that means that the energy is there. For you to resolve this situation. It's a good time for your feelings to finally be heard in the month of May. Because if your focus is there, then something's poking at you. Something's letting you know, hey, it might be time to revisit this situation. It might be time to think about this. It might be time to let this person know how you feel. to speak your mind about this. It could be a good time during May to do that. This could also be about you purging and processing those feelings in private. Oh, that's kind of a similar message that came through for group 1. So I wonder if this is a common theme for May. If May is going to be a time of purging for everybody, this might be collective energy that I'm picking up on. Yeah, this does not have to be expression that takes place outwardly. This might be you kind of getting settled with the feelings that you have about this scenario. For some of you, there is definitely tension or conflict that you want to resolve. And that I also want to say that wants to be resolved, because it feels like it wants to be resolved in May. Like the energy is there, and it's like you're going to make some progress with that in May. I think that what's most important with this 5 of Swords is that life in general in May is going to be a time like for your whole life, whether this is about a particular conflict or a particular standoff or stagnation that you have going on with someone in your life, this is really a time for you to make positive changes in your life. It's a time that you want to make positive changes. You're ready, whatever that means to you. And you've got your focus there. You've got your focus in whatever area is going to help you bring the most positivity and the most improvement into your life. It's like your eye is on the prize here. And this feels like something you've considered a lot. This feels like you've taken the time to contemplate and know what you want. And I think you're finally ready to pursue what you want. So this could be that you're ready to pursue who exactly you want to be, or it could even be that you I'm hearing who you want to be in a relationship with others, like who you want to show up as in a relationship. So you might be reevaluating that, how you want to show up, how you want to be seen. This is taking me back to this this expression. So in any area where you feel like people aren't able to see the real you, they aren't able to see the true authentic you, this is a time for you to express in a way that's going to let them be able to see who you really are. And I think that's important to you during this month, letting people see who you really are. This is interesting energy here. I want to get your tarot and see what we have. So we have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, okay. Yeah. The Queen of Wands. I don't know. I almost feel like, okay, that's it. Like you're in your freaking power in May. You're in your power. We're talking about expression, and then the Queen of Wands comes out. Like, let me get the rest of your cards. Okay, we have the 5 of Swords. The Star. The 4 of Pentacles. We got a lot to talk about. The 3 of Cups. Another 3. We were talking about that in the beginning of the reading, this being kind of like a collaborative energy, and gives me the feeling of collaboration with others and really expressing yourselves. I feel like that theme is repeating here, and it's really confirming that a lot for me. So yeah, you're in your power. You're in your power in May. It was a really kind of powerful energy that was coming through with this expression card. And with the Queen of Wands, I have no doubt. I feel like you're stepping into a period of being the most you that you've ever been. May might be just the beginning of this for some of you. Because I see this, yeah, this is interesting. Gosh, as I dig into this more, there's so much coming out. This is something you've thought about so long and hard. There's time you've taken out to contemplate, like, what it will mean for you to be this certain thing, to show up as a certain thing, to in some cases even demand it, like to demand that you be seen the way that you want to be seen, to demand that you're able to express how you really feel. You've taken the time to think about this. Here's the thing. We have the Five of Swords come out again. This is in the upright. Here we had it in the reverse position. What I think that this is showing me is, here I'm kind of seeing your story and I'm seeing a little bit of the history of the scenario. Up here I'm seeing the energies for the month of May specifically, and we had the Five of Swords come out in reverse. So this is energy that you're moving past, but this is something that I want to say, like the word plague came to mind, like it plagued you. This is something that has plagued you. This is something you have considered. So your mission during the month of May really is to turn this Five of Swords upside down, and this might even be energy that you're working on, but it's the feeling of wanting to bring this time of uncertainty or this time of conflict to an end. I think for a lot of you, this is about the thing that's been bugging you the most. This is the thing that you thought about and worried about and tried to forget about, but you just can't seem to get away from it. It's that thing. That thing is in your view during the month of May. Very likely too, this is the thing that you can't seem to get any traction on. So it's like something that you keep returning to. But it feels like something's shifting in May around this issue. For a lot of you, this really could be a relationship. We're talking about how this all relates to others and this collaborative energy of 3. So this could be about some relationship in your life. But overall, it's something that plays on your mind a lot, and it has to do with ultimately it's about how you're showing up in the world and if it feels true to you or not. So you're finding ways to make it feel more authentic. And I feel like by the end of this month, you're going to be practically glowing. Look at this energy of the Queen of Wands and the Star. This is glowing energy. This is energy that I feel like when you get to this place, it's so well deserved. Like it's something that you have thought about and struggled with for a while. It's so well deserved to be in that place of glowing, to be in that place of attraction. Like it just feels like people are going to be drawn to you. During May, I think, wow, it's like you're so lit up that I wouldn't be surprised if you're getting a little bit more attention than is normal for you. You might catch the eye of somebody during the month of May. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it very well could be. But it's just like you're just on fire. You're just on fire. I think for some of you during this month, you're going to be welcoming in some really special and important people. This Three of Cups is giving me that energy, and like we talked about, this could be a romance for some of you. But what I get the feeling of with this most of all is that whoever this is, it could be more than one person. They're just very important in your life. This might be that you're connecting with an old friend or that you're meeting new friends, but whoever this is, it's someone that is going to play a crucial role. For some of you, I'm hearing you're even expanding your family in the month of May. I feel like I may have said March a little while ago, and I don't know if I actually did or if I'm just hearing March. So if I said March, I'd like to correct myself and I meant May, but the fact that I'm hearing that so clearly, I'm wondering if there's some connection between something that took place for you in March and what is going on in May. And if this has to do with some of the people that are coming into your life, maybe these are people you met in March or someone that you met in March and now you're reconnecting with them in May. I'm not sure. For some of you, May is somehow tied to this scenario that we're talking about here. Yeah. What I want to say most of all about this is I think you're going to be connecting with some lifelong friends during this month, or putting yourself in the position where you have the opportunity to meet these people. So, you know how there are some people who light you up even more and who make you feel like your star is shining even brighter. And then there are some people who seem like they just drain the life out of you. Um, the people you're looking to spend time with in May are the ones that give you life, not the ones that take it. So I just want you to keep that in mind. And I think that's just the energy that you have during the month, not really something I need to remind you of. You could be welcoming more people into your life this month that are like that play that role for you. And for some of you, these might be the very first people that have ever played that role for you. So this might be you meeting somebody who for the first time really has your back. For the first time you feel like someone's in your corner and truly wants the best for you, and they notice all the great things about you, and they light you up even brighter, and they celebrate you. That's what this feels like. It feels like the energy of celebration. And if you already have people like that in your life, then this is a time for connection with those people. And if you don't, this is a time to meet those people, to get those people in your life, because you need them. They're crucial. They are beautiful additions to what you've got going on here. This Queen of Wands here, she speaks her mind. And with this expression card, I think you're going to be pretty upfront with how you're feeling about people this month, and that's good or bad. So the people in your life who are just those beautiful additions I was talking about, these are people who I think you're going to be expressive with. I think you're going to let them know how much they mean to you, how important they are. I think you're going to be celebrating them just as much as they're celebrating you. And, you know, it works the other way too. So if there's somebody that isn't really playing that role, if they're playing the role of life sucker, then you might just tell them that they're sucking the life out of you. That could happen. But I think that you're really just gravitating more towards those people that just make you feel alive, that make you feel brighter. And that could keep you from even needing to address any issues with anyone that are just negative. I do want to say, if there's something that you've been afraid to lose, I'm looking at this Four of Pentacles energy, and I know that this has been playing on your mind a lot, with Five of Swords coming out twice in your reading. If there's something you've been afraid to lose, even if that thing you've been afraid to lose is an old version of yourself that you've been a little nervous about letting go of, I think that this month is where you start asking yourself how much more you have to gain if you change your perception of something, if you reinvent yourself, if you walk away from this thing to pursue that thing, if you show up, if you really show up and stop hiding, how much more you're gonna gain. It's crazy that I think in some way the same kind of message came out in group 1. So I don't know if your energies are closely tied, and if you want to check out that reading, or if this is again some sort of general energy. But this Four of Pentacles is really about clinging on to things. This can be, of course, literally read about clinging on to financial things, but it doesn't have to be that. It's really just holding on to anything really, really tightly. And I think that for a lot of you, this thing that you're holding on to, it could be as simple as the way someone sees you. You might be kind of clinging on to the way that somebody sees you. And even though you know, like, this is not really me, I want you to see me for who I really am, it's just difficult to imagine shattering their vision of you. And I think you're starting to see, like, if I can be my authentic self, and if they can see me for who I truly am, and if I can live my life authentically, I stand to gain so much than if I kind of play the role that people are used to me playing, or play the role that I just somehow ended up with even though I didn't choose it. If that resonates for you, you'll kind of know, you'll know what I'm talking about. This reading is starting to feel a bit like a pros and cons list. Maybe some of you are going to find yourself making a pros and cons list about something during this month. It looks to me like you stand to gain a lot by being true to yourself this month, and just doing what resonates. And you can just take that as it resonates, because that might have been a message for someone. Yeah, this reading, it's starting to feel like you kind of weighing the outcome, weighing the pros and cons. And I got an image of somebody sitting down and like literally with a piece of paper and like, here are the pros, here are the cons, and trying to figure out what they feel about this. And that might be the process that you're going through before you can get to this expression, like before you're ready to express whatever it is you feel about a certain situation. You may have really weighed out the pros and cons of it. Let's get some messages and advice from your guides before we wrap up this reading. So let's see. We have the thinking woman. Yeah. Yeah, this energy, this Five of Swords energy, this really in your head energy, and this idea of weighing things out and contemplating. Let's look at your other card. We had indecision come up in reverse. We've been talking about contemplation this entire reading, so I'm just like, what is on your mind, number two? What is on your mind? Something's on your mind, and it's been on your mind for a minute and a half. You might be making some kind of decision during May, but I feel like we've already talked about that. You're making some kind of decision about how you want to show up, how you want to express, what you want to say to somebody, who you're going to be. I don't know exactly what it is, and I want to know exactly what it is. This might be multiple decisions for you, but it's at least one really important decision. And I think, again, you've been considering this for a while. Five of Swords. The Hanged Man. You've been almost sitting still considering this. It looks like you're making up your mind about something. And it feels like something that I want to say, this might sound weird. This feels like something that you have the ability to just reach out and take. Like, as soon as you've made up your mind about this, you have the ability to just become it, or just have it, or just something. But it's like the indecision, the waiting, the contemplating is the only thing that's been holding you back. And I'm not saying that's been a waste of time. It's not a waste of time. Like, it feels meaningful to this process, that time that you took to consider it. But it does feel like as soon as you've made up your mind, the wheels just start turning, things just start going. It doesn't feel like this is an easy thing because it's been on your mind for a while. But it does seem like May is a turning point. And I feel like whatever decision you make about this, you are going to feel really secure because you've thought about it enough. You've done your research. You've weighed all the options. You did your pros and cons list like we were talking about. So whatever you choose to do, you're going to know that you made the right decision. And for some of you, that decision that you're making is really just the decision to be you. It's to be your true self, no matter what anyone else thinks. And that's a really empowering feeling. So yeah, you're feeling super empowered this month. That is, that's the recurring theme that I had that one on lock right from the beginning with this. There was an empowering feeling that came through, and that is the most important thing for you to take with you from this, is that you are in your power. You are ready to speak up about some things. You're ready to express yourself. And I think that the doubt about it is fading away because you've thought about it enough. Even if this is something like challenging that you've been contemplating taking on and you're not sure if you can handle it, you've thought about it enough. You have decided how you're going to handle it, and you know that it's going to work out for you. So you're going forward really confident, but it's not just a place of like just confidence for no reason. It's confidence because of contemplation. It's confidence because you took the time to to build your confidence. You built your confidence in a really logical way. And so it makes a lot of sense, and you're always able to fall back on that because it is logical. It's because you can refer to that list. Like, you might not have a literal list, but if you do, you can refer back to that list, and you'll know that this is okay. You'll know that this is good. You'll know that you made the right choice. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it there. Huge shift happening in May. For some of you, a really big shift. I'm just kind of in general getting the feeling that May is is a transitional time. It's making me wonder what that might mean for me. Just like, you know, you wonder like, where do I fall into all of this? I'm feeling that the collective energy is really one of transition, of growth, and of expression in some way during May. So that's really exciting for everyone, because when we evolve as individuals, we evolve as a collective, and that's beautiful energy. I'm getting too deep now, so let's just let's go ahead and wrap it up. If you liked this reading, if it resonated for you, don't forget to like it, leave me a comment down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you feel like it. And then we can hang out again when I do another reading. I would love to have you here. I loved hanging out with you. I love reading your cards, and I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you soon, hopefully. Bye. Hi, number 3, if you picked this teardrop amber colored gemstone, this is going to be your reading. We're going to take a look at your month ahead for May 2022. And I just want to start the reading with a crystal card. This is going to give us an idea of what your energy is going to be like during the month of May. And we're just going to kind of see what your vibe is individually before we look at the energies going on around you during this month. So what do we have? We have Opal. With expansion, North Node. Okay. Well, okay, so the very first thing that just came to mind when I flipped this card over was spiritual journey. I just heard it so clearly that a lot of you have been on a spiritual journey, or maybe May is a month that you start to tap into your spiritual side, or you reach some kind of new level with that. If you have been going through a spiritual awakening process, this is a month that you're going to really feel it, or you're going to make some sort of major leap ahead. This can also be about expanding your boundaries, expanding your mind in general during this month. Oh, this would be a great month for travel. So some of you already have plans in the works, probably. And if you're traveling during May, I'm hearing that your experiences are going to change your perspective. So you're going to look at a situation in your life a lot differently because of the clarity that your trip brings you. And that's just for some of you, if you are going on a trip. But yeah, if you need to gain new perspective on something, May is the time. And if you're kind of getting out of your little, like your usual bubble, because that really helps us to like see things differently. If you're doing that during May, then this is going to be a huge turning point in some other area of your life. Because it's going to help you just see the situation so much differently than you're looking at it now. That's what I'm hearing. The funny part about this is I just have this feeling of like, I feel like you're information hungry during this month. That's the weirdest thing. That's weird. That's weird to say, but that's what it feels like. Like you're really hungry for all the information that you can get. You want to sink your teeth into something. You might be researching something or planning something. Yeah, in a lot of ways, this really does feel like spiritual expansion, and it feels like intellectual expansion for you during the month of May. You might even be expanding your circle of friends or your sphere of influence. I don't actually know where that came from. Okay, hold on. It's kind of an odd way to put it, your sphere of influence. I think maybe for some of you, you might be growing a platform or getting out in front of more people in some way. This could be a pursuit that starts in May. It could be something that is like showing some results in May. Like you might be gaining followers or having more eyes on the work that you do or on the thing that you offer. It's so weird that it came out that way, the sphere of influence thing. So that might resonate for somebody on a particular level. There might be something that you're in pursuit of in May where being influential or kind of being a leader in some way might be important. It might be crucial to something that you're pursuing, because it was a little bit of an odd way for it to come out. And usually when that happens, it's like something really specific for somebody. So we'll just put that out there. Yeah, but there is kind of this feeling of a lot of growth here. And what I will say is, because this is the last reading that I'm doing, what I've noticed from doing readings 1 and 2 is that the general energy for the month of May, it's probably the collective's energy, is one of kind of, we could call it this, we could call it expansion. It's a very expansive energy. It feels like May is going to be a shift for a lot of people. Like it's going to really be like a memorable month, in that it's a stepping stone, it's the start of something, it's a turning point in some way. I feel already like this energy might be multiplied for you, because you have this expansive energy of your own that's going to be coupled with this energy that I'm pretty sure is collective energy, because it is showing itself in each one of these readings. So your growth and expansion during this month might be supercharged. I don't feel weird about that though. I don't feel like it's something you can't handle. We're gonna look at your cards. We're gonna see what else comes up. But I say all of that, and then I just feel really calm. So this is probably something you're ready for. This is probably something that you feel confident stepping into. And even if you're about to grow and expand in crazy ways and in crazy amounts, it's like, you're ready for it. It just, like, I'm even searching for the feeling of being scared and being apprehensive in some way, being nervous, and I can't find it. So I'm thinking you're really, really confident headed into this. Let's look at these 2 tarot cards. This is going to give me more information about the energy that's going on around you during the month of May. We know what you're about. You're in this expansive energy. You're looking for information. You're really like looking to learn and grow. So let's see what's going on around you. Okay, we have the Hermit. I think this is, okay. I think this is your energy. This is past energy. And I think the reason this is swirling around you is because this is the energy that you are confronting during this month, or you're overcoming during this month. And we have Dominion. This is 2 of Wands energy. Okay, I see where you're coming from at this point. I see where you're coming from. I know why you're ready for the expansion, because you're like so over it. Like, what I wanted to say, which makes literally no sense, I'm going to say it anyway, and then I'm going to try to like backpedal and explain myself. It feels to me like the reason that you're ready for this expansion is because you're so ready for this expansion, which doesn't make any sense, because I'm just saying the same thing. But it's like, I think I'm looking for that, like, oh, let's be terrified. This is a lot of growth, and I can't find it. And I think it might be because you've reached that that point where it's like, I'm so ready for this. Whatever this is, it's like, I'm so ready for this. I don't have time to be scared about it anymore. It's just like, you're just so over it. You're just so over not growing, not expanding. If you've been coming from a period of stagnation, it's like you're just so ready for it. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful, because it's taking away all apprehension, and I love it. The Hermit reverse definitely gives me the feeling of like coming out of the shadows, maybe pushing some boundaries. We kind of talked about that with this expansion, testing the waters with something. It could be, this could just be the start. This could be dipping your toe in. With expansion being your energy during May, this probably means that you're like coming out more, you're socializing more, you're possibly wanting to share ideas with other people, and maybe like grow and expand through listening to different perspectives and through sharing your perspective about things. This could be a time where you want to put everything that you've learned when you were in the self-reflection mode. You might want to be like putting that to good use during the month of May. So it feels like you're exiting a period of reflection and more introspection, kind of coming out of this this darker place, this isn't a place that I really view as dark in a bad way. This is a place of self-discovery. This is Virgo energy. This is very self-reflective, introspective energy. So this is like, to me, this is the kind of energy that takes place really before we do come out and put things on display, because we need to know where we stand. Like, it's important work to do, and it really helps us to grow and expand. I think the thing that's interesting about this is, I think it's going to mean different things for different people, because the Hermit in reverse can also signal that you might be headed into a period of self-reflection. So as I'm looking at this, you'll know. I mean, you're going to know, because you're going to either feel antsy to come out, or you're going to feel antsy to go in. So you're going to know where you fall on this. But yeah, you'll feel this out for yourself. The main energy here is the expansion. So I think that whichever is most fitting for you is going to be the one that's going to help you to grow and expand more. So if that's a more inward approach for you, if that's a more inward approach to life than a more outward approach, then that's what you're going to do. If that's what helps you to grow and expand, if this is about coming out of that period of self-reflection, then that's what you're going to do. It's whatever feels most expansive to you. Sometimes we're in a place where it's like, I need to kind of go within. I need to think about this. I need to feel this out and see how I feel about this. And that is the growth, and that is the expansion. Getting right with your thoughts and your opinions and your feelings about stuff, your deep feelings, because that's what we discover when we're in hermit mode. Hermit mode really lights the path. It lights the way. So it can feel like it's really dark, but it is the lamp. Like, that hermit energy is the lamp. It is the thing that lights our way and lets us see what the next step is. So sometimes this going within, this introspective energy, is what lights up the path and allows us to expand, because we wouldn't know where to go if it weren't for this time of introspection. We wouldn't know what step to take and in what direction. So yeah, it's coming through two different ways. At first I was reading it only as one way, but now I'm seeing that this could be about going within, and it could be about coming out, but it's always about expansion. It's all about growth. Your energy is really focused with this Two of Wands energy. And that I love, because it really doesn't make any difference if this is inward or outward expansion, or if it's inward. It's really, if it's inward or outward expression that's leading to the expansion, I think it makes no difference. The point is that you are very focused. So whatever path you're choosing, whatever feels right to you, your energy is super focused. The funny thing about this is, because here I'm seeing you're really focused on your personal growth, but I almost feel like this Hermit card could have just as easily been the Ace of Wands. Because it's really talking about a period of self-discovery that's going to lead to a lot more growth. And I feel like, I mean, this does it perfectly, but the fact that we have this Two of Wands here, like, it feels like that ace is like that spark of something, and then the two is the beginning of it, the beginning of putting a plan into motion. So I'm almost getting Ace of Wands energy from the Hermit. The Hermit is the time of developing these ideas, of developing that inspiration, spending time with self so that we can expand outwardly. And that's kind of the energy that I'm getting here. So you've got plans, and we're really talking about self-discovery here. You've got plans in the works during the month of May, and I feel like you might not be quite in that action stage with the Two of Wands. Not yet, but you're planning and you're starting to see ways to implement this expansive energy that's just in the air for you. So there might not be actual action yet. I feel like this is really a lot of planning. Let's look at your tarot. Okay, we have the Three of Swords right in the middle, so we're not going to be able to ignore that. Let's see. Judgment. Justice. Seven of Swords. Decent amount of swords energy here and swords imagery, even when it's not a swords card, which is really interesting. And then we have the Eight of Wands. Okay. Buckle up, number 3. Buckle up. It feels like this expansive energy is going to happen fast. I feel like I was saying something like that before, that the collective energy is really very expansive on its own. And then you have the expansion, and then we have the Eight of Wands here. So changes are happening for you really fast in May. And again, somehow you're totally ready for it. So this is not a problem. Okay, Three of Swords right in the center of your spread. Your growth and expansion was possibly triggered by some kind of disappointment or heartbreak. And I feel like saying this. Okay. You know the saying, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger? I feel like you're proving that this month. I feel like there's this feeling of you emerging in some way, but yeah, you're proving that. So for some of you, this expansion was triggered honestly by something that didn't work out, or something that hasn't worked out so far the way that you want it to. But it's almost like you can see the lesson in all of it, even though it might have stung a little. It's like if it weren't for this, you wouldn't be who you are now, and you wouldn't have learned so many important lessons that you've learned. So it feels like it's like crazy energy, especially with this coming out. I think that there's just something so fearless about you. I don't even want to say during May. I don't think this is about May. I think this is just you. There's something so fearless about you, and a real resilience that you've developed. And that is probably why there's no fear in this expansion. There's no fear in this growth. There's no fear of what it means for you to become all of who you are. And I think it's because of what you've been through, and it's like you've already faced the scariest of things, so nothing's going to scare you now, and the growth is what you want. It really feels to me like you're starting, or maybe continuing on with some kind of glow up in May. You are glowing up. Also, we have this Justice card here, and like, I just feel like the scales are balancing out for you. I feel like you've been a key player in making those scales balance. Like, you've really done some work. It's not just that things are starting to miraculously work out for you. I think you've done a lot of work around this too. Like, you've put in the effort, and yeah, things are miraculously working out for you too, but you've overcome a lot to get to this place. So the scales are definitely balancing. I do want to talk about the Seven of Swords, because there's interesting energy coming from the Seven of Swords. This is, you know what I'm getting from this card? It's like you're being really strategic during this month, and you're putting your best foot forward. I think that you are going to be very deliberate with your time during May. Your focus is on bettering yourself, and you're very deliberate about that. So the Seven of Swords can talk about like shortcutting the process. With this Eight of Wands here on the opposite side, it seems like this expansion, like I was saying, is happening really fast, because you have then two cards here that I'm getting energy of a shortcut. So this is a rapid expansion of something happening way faster than you expected it to, or way faster than it typically happens for people. Rapid expansion for you. This month is like a catapult. That's all I can. I'm just really seeing this as a catapult, and it's almost like I'm visually seeing the year laid out, which is very odd, but this is how my brain works. Like, I'm just seeing you like kind of springing forward. So it's like, I think I think that you're going to accomplish more in May than you anticipated, and you're going to find yourself in a place where some of the goals that you had set for yourself to maybe accomplish by the end of the year, or sometime around there, like in the fall, you're going to find that you are making so much progress on those goals, and that so much is happening, maybe even things that are out of your control, but like they're happening a lot sooner than you expected. That's what it feels like for May. Things are happening a lot sooner than you expected. Yeah, it's like you're able to really make more progress this month than you've been able to make maybe even for the last 4 months combined, or even longer. Because I feel like this is more progress than you feel like you've made so far this year. But maybe even longer ago than that. I think that it's because you reach this point where you can finally start to assimilate all of the pieces. So things are starting to make sense to you. And I'm just getting this like ninja energy from you. Like it feels like you're kind of like a ninja during month, like swift and efficient. You're really reviewing and you're evaluating your past experiences, and you're learning from them very quickly. You're putting it all together very, very quickly. Yeah, let's look at your advice card. So let's get some advice from your guides, and that will kind of wrap up the reading. So we have we have Journey. I feel like that was I feel like that was like the first thing I said about this reading, that this was for a lot of you a spiritual journey. And it doesn't have to be spiritual, but yes, you are definitely on some sort of journey. That's crazy that you got that card. Let's look at your other card. We have Man Holding a Heart. Okay. I don't know how this card could be any more appropriate. It really does feel like you've been on this path, and like somehow May is very significant to the path that you've been on. This is really, that's just confirmation of that. And your particular individual path, you'll know what that is. But this feels like it has a lot to do with healing to me. And like there really is a spiritual component to it. It might also filter out into other areas of your life. But it's like the spiritual journey that you're on is kind of mirroring some other journey that you might be on too. It's this growth and expansion that is, it's kind of powering you through everything that you do, and you're able to apply lessons from one event to the next. And May feels like this time when it's like you start to be able to move faster through problems, or just through your journey. You're just moving through it a lot quicker because you're realizing like, oh, I've been here before, I've seen this before, I've healed from this before, I've got this. It's just that kind of energy, and you're like ready for the next thing. You're ready for whatever life has to throw at you. You're ready for it. This is a new path for you. It's almost like, I mean, yeah, we have this 2 here on the Journey card. We have a 2, and we have the 2 on the 2 of Wands. So it's like, this is kind of a new direction for you. This is about you planning. This is also another indication of travel. Like we were talking about in the beginning of the reading, this is an indication of travel. So this might be that you have travel plans. And like I said, whatever trip it is that you're going on, it's going to change your mind in some way. It's going to change your perspective. It's going to create a lot of clarity for you if that's the case for you. But yeah, you're like setting out on this new journey. So this might be a physical journey. It might be a metaphorical one. I have to say though, enjoy the ride, because this is a journey of importance to you. Whatever this is for you, it's super important, and it is going to feel like it speeds things up for you. Like it makes so much happen in such a short period of time. Yeah. You're at a very significant stage in your life, and it's allowing for a lot of healing and growth. What I love though is this card, this Man Holding Heart, Man Holding a Heart card. this heart in this card here is really mirroring this Three of Swords card. The only difference here is that the Three of Swords, in the Three of Swords, the card is damaged. Obviously, it's been hurt, it's been broken, it's been damaged. This card here is fully intact. So I love this as sort of like a redeeming energy in a way. It's showing a lot of healing for you. Healing that I think you're realizing in May. I don't think you're doing it all in May. I think this is healing you've done before. Yeah, this card can also talk a lot about taking a more balanced approach with family and love. So that could be your approach in May. That also makes me think back to this Justice card, because we were talking about the scales are balancing. So yeah, there's more balance, just more balance coming in general. And this can show more harmony is being restored to some of your relationships. Now, of course, this could mean that new romance is entering your life in the month of May. So definitely leave the possibility open for that if you are open to it. But overall, this energy brings attention to personal projects. This energy of this card specifically, it brings attention to personal projects, to relationships with others. And it even talks about home issues with the home sometimes. So bringing more balance and justice to those areas is what I think is important here for you. So yeah, this is kind of a lot, but tapping into your energy, I didn't feel overwhelmed looking at it. So I just know how ready you are for this. It's probably something you've waited for. It's growth and expansion that you've waited for. If you've been waiting for something to kind of like kick off and you're not expecting to see anything until later on this year, I mean, you hope you would, but you don't feel like it's that realistic. I would say expect things, expect changes, expect growth and expansion a lot faster than you thought, because May is just going to speed things up for you. It just really feels like May is definitely speeding things up. It could be that you're making so much progress in May that it sets you up for something later, but it really does feel like there's incredible amounts of expansive energy, and that is the collective's energy as well. So really good momentum for you for May. I'm excited. You're learning a lot, you're growing a lot, you're healing a lot, and you're realizing how much you've learned and grown and healed in May too. So that's beautiful energy. I think I'm going to wrap your reading up here. That's all the messages I see for you. If you did like this reading, don't forget to like it, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. I would love to have you come back and hang out with me again. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards. I really enjoy doing this, and you guys give me the opportunity to do it, so I appreciate you so much for that. And I hope you'll come and hang out with me again soon. And yeah, I will see you later. Bye.